You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 214 for Sunday the 17th of June 2018.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my good friend Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. And a big hello and welcome to my lovely Jayne.
Hi Michelle, how are you?
I am doing really well. I've had a nice long weekend, and in between everything else that's happening today, obviously it's Father's Day. A couple of days earlier it's been Eid, so I would like to say Eid Mubarak to everybody who was celebrating. We had 2 days off work, it was great.
Every cloud and all that.
Absolutely, and it meant I was able to get ahead with some of the editing of all the fantastic content that we've been able to put together over the last week or so.
Well, everybody wins then.
Absolutely, because our Patreon supporters have got a massive dose of Terry Harden coming their way.
See, it pays to throw us a little bit of money, doesn't it?
It does indeed. Patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls. And mentioning Terry Harden, she's down to a couple of the groups left. They've nearly all gone. And she was updating me about what was happening with regards to her trip later on in the year in Paris. And I'm going to be recording a podcast with her formally on the 22nd of June. And I was just wondering what our listeners would like to hear from Terry. What do you want to talk to her about? So if you have a question, query, comment that you'd like to mention to Terry Harden on the show, get in touch with us. Either message us via our Facebook page, which is very simple to find. Give us a like, Disney Dream Girls. You can email info@disneydreamgirls.com, or you can get in touch with us via Twitter @DisDreamGirls.
Yeah, could do some nice, good, well thought out questions, Michelle, because there must be something we've not asked Terry about before.
Oh, there's so much she's done. I was thinking about speaking to her about the Country Bears because she's not retold that story on the podcast yet. But I'm always open for other ideas, and as always with Terry, you get a phone call with her and you could be still there 3 days later.
That's all right. We'll have lots of show content, won't we?
Absolutely, because I need to get a little bit ahead of the game because I don't want to let anyone down over the summer period when I'm going to be away for 3 weeks.
Of course. Yes, I keep forgetting it's 3 weeks that you're away for.
Jayne, can I just say that it is less than 2 months to go?
Crikey, it must be, yes. That seems to have flown by, Michelle. I don't know about you. It seems to have come round rather quick.
It is, and the days are just disappearing. Like the other day, we were able to get our fast passes booked for the first week of Theme Park Land.
Wow, crikey, yes. So are your organisation plans in full effect then, Michelle?
Absolutely, down to the T. Everything.
Spreadsheets a go-go.
Absolutely. Everything I need to do has been done. I just basically need to start finishing off 1 or 2 outfits. I've been buying up Disney fabric like nobody's business to start making myself some Disney outfits to wear while I'm there.
You and your sewing machine going great guns.
I know. Don't be asking me to make any Mandalorian stuff because it's not going to happen.
Oh, that's all right. I've got somebody not a million miles away from me is now advanced into leather work. So, you know, constantly changing at our house. Mind you, when a certain Mandalorian goes and breaks her helmet on a recent troop and then causes said person who can make things have to do extra work. Oops. I broke my rangefinder.
Oh, dear.
Because that means nothing to you, does it? But yeah.
Not a clue.
My little sticky up bit on my helmet.
Right, okay.
I kind of caught it and snapped it off. Oops.
So I gather he's had to do a bit of gluing and sticking.
Oh, mate, had to make a whole new one.
Oh, wow, you well and truly ruined it then.
I did, yeah.
Oh, dear. So, Jayne, as I was chatting to Terry, that I mentioned a bit earlier, she was telling me all about Incredibles 2, and, oh my word, she says we have to go and see it.
I must admit, I mean, I do love The Incredibles. I mean, who doesn't love The Incredibles? So, and I am loving the trailers that I keep seeing. So, yeah, it's definitely on our to-go-to list.
Now, I was speaking to some dear lovely American friends and, you know, they were telling me they were planning to go this weekend. And when can we go see it, Jayne?
13th of July, Michelle.
It's not good enough, Disney.
Why? Why are we way down the list? Why?
Why wait? I know our summer starts different to the USA, but it's ridiculous. You did this with Coco, and I'm that upset I still haven't watched the Blu-ray that I bought over a month ago because I'm still upset over it how it all went down over here.
Well, I must admit, I was really looking forward to Coco, and I was so disappointed that we couldn't get to see it, in line with the majority of the rest of the planet. I have now seen it, and it is very worthwhile seeing, Michelle. It is a beautiful, beautiful film. Can't recommend it highly enough. But, it's a bit sad that by the time it got released over here, I was like, well, why am I going to spend, probably for just Simon and I to go, it's going to be upwards of £20 to go to the cinema when I can wait a few weeks and buy it on Blu-ray for $15.
I know.
So...
I'm just so angry about The Incredibles right now. It is just really, really annoying that I'm going to get spoiler after spoiler on social media for a whole month.
Yeah.
Because they can't press release in the UK at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it was bad enough. Just I know Solo and Star Wars is a little bit different, but and there was only a short amount of difference between press screenings in the US and us getting to see it in the UK. But we were so careful over space of like 3 or 4 days of not catching stuff on social media because not wanting to be spoiled. But when you go and you've got like a month between, with the best will in the world, a quick scroll through Twitter or Facebook, you're gonna see something that you wish you hadn't seen. It's inevitable, isn't it? I do kind of watch quite a lot of movie YouTube review type shows, and they are very good at putting spoiler up. But the further you get away from that US release, that becomes that thing of like, well, everybody's seen it by now, so therefore you run the risk of bumping into something by accident. And I think as much as I want to go and see it at the cinema, I think what will probably happen in this household, it'll get to the 13th of July. It's a busy time of the year for you and I, Michelle. End of school year, it's chaotic, isn't it? Yeah. And I know what's going to happen. Before I know it, we'll be into August, and then I'll be thinking, oh, you know what? It'll be out in a month or so. I'll wait until it comes out on Blu-ray.
Well, do you know what? I'm hoping it's on the blinking ship and I get to watch it on the cruise line.
Yeah.
Because at least then I won't be paying £10 for the privilege of me falling asleep.
True. And at least it'll be in quite a nice, authentic setting as well for you.
Yeah, ship.
Yeah.
That I've never been on before.
But it's a Disney ship, so it's like, that's all right, isn't it?
Anyway, before we go on to turning this podcast into a gripe fest, let's go over to our Kieran and hear about this week in Disney history.
Cool.
Hello everyone, welcome back to This Week in Disney History. Now are you guys ready to start? Oh boy, I sure am too. Now let's get started, shall we? Let's start this week off with today, the 17th of June. But let's go back in time to 1821. So, we all love Haunted Mansion, right? It's pretty cool, it's pretty awesome. It's got some spooky ghosts in there, they're all spooky. Spooky things happen. It's all good fun. But to be fair, the tricks used in this Haunted Mansion aren't actually reliant on modern technology. They're based on an age-old illusion, and for this day, we are celebrating a fellow British scientist, John Henry Pepper, born on the 17th of June, 1821. Has the name made a click? Yes, that's right. He's the guy who created the Pepper's ghost effect used in the Haunted Mansion so effectively. Still on this day, but in 1972, and Disneyland had its debut of the Main Street Electrical Parade. This nighttime show has had a place in our hearts for a long time. Onwards to the 18th of June, and in the year 1995, the first Disney wedding took place at the Grand Floridian in their special wedding pavilion. Did you know that they have a dedicated planning studio called Franck's a homage to Disney's 1991 version of Father of the Bride. Keeping in Walt Disney World, and on the 19th of June 1995, the partner statue was unveiled in the Magic Kingdom. This Blair Gibson piece is exactly the same as the one that has been put into Disneyland 18 months earlier, ending this week's section off with an entry from the 20th of June 1952, and Father's Weekend was released. This told the daily weekday ritual of Goofy and how he lived for the weekend. Not seen it in a while? Make sure to visit our website as we will share a link to it to celebrate Father's Day. Well, not my website, I don't own the website, it's the podcast. It's Michelle and Jayne's website, not mine. I don't own a website. I have yet to own a website, but if I did own a website, it would be awesome. Anyway, that's it for this week. I have been a human being. Sorry about that. Things happen. I'm glad you've just popped over and we've had this nice little talk. It's been fun. It's been fun. And you know what? It's also been quite fun. Goodbye.
Thank you for that, Kieran. As he mentioned that in this selection of news, on the 20th of June 1952, Father's Weekend was released. And I thought it'd be, really cool that it's sort of like a daily weekday ritual of Goofy. And I thought, do you know what, I'll share that. So I'm going to pop that over on our show notes if you want to go pop on there, disneydreamgirls.com, and watch the little clip. Now, we did mention that we are celebrating Father's Day, Jayne.
Yeah, and it's quite unusual because it's Father's Day in the UK and the US is the same time, is it not? Whereas Mother's Day is always a bit, different times of the year.
Do you know, I get fed up of explaining it every single year that Mother's Day in the UK is linked to Easter and it's a movable feast. It changes every year, blah, de blah, de blah. But for some reason, the card companies have got it synced that Father's Day is always on the same day bi-coastally. So happy Father's Day to those of you who have a child or children that are in your life, whether it's through birth or by choice.
I like that, birth or by choice.
Well, to be quite honest, my experience is that sometimes if you choose to be a father, whether it's through adoption or taking on the role as a father within a ready-made family, if you marry someone who's already got children, those kinds of dads are the most special kinds of dads.
Absolutely. No, I know what you mean.
Let's get on. What I thought we'd do is we'd talk about some of the things that we'd like to do with dads in Father's Day, and we're going to have a little chat about that between me and thee, because I thought, let's talk Walt Disney World. However, though, I would like us also to be joined by the wonderful Tommy Allison, because he's going to share the news of Pirates Ahoy and the Pirates of the Caribbean and Red surfacing in Disneyland. And then before we close off the show, our good friend Mark from IMDO Podcast, he's got some info about what's happening over in Disneyland Paris with regards to its Marvelisation.
Yes, seen lots of things about that recently.
Yeah, so we've got a really, really bumper-packed show. So let's kick off with some Father's Day stuff, Jayne. And I set you the challenge to find the very best things you could do with your dad if he was a Star Wars fan.
I wonder why you gave me that challenge, Michelle.
Because you're the Star Wars fan.
Am I by default the Star Wars fan? Well, I think it's fairly obvious. If you're going to be in Disney World and it's going to be Father's Day and you're a Star Wars fan, then there's only really one place that you can go, and that's going to be Hollywood Studios, isn't it?
Absolutely.
There is a plethora of stuff there. It's a shame it's not in like a bit of a year and a half's time when the old Galaxy's Edge is up and open, but there's still quite a lot of stuff to do at Hollywood Studios. I have to say, I was initially drawn. They do this tour over there, and I thought, well, a tour is kind of like a cool thing to do, especially as a treat for Father's Day, so there may be a little bit of an expense, but perhaps it might be something that would be worthwhile for that, avid Star Wars fan. I did actually have a look at it. Don't do it.
But why? I've had guests on before talking about it, and they said it was amazing.
Well, I'm sure it is, but when I read it, I thought, well, hold a minute. It's $92.95 plus tax plus park entry. That's quite a big chunk of money, isn't it?
True.
So,
but do you get really cool things in return?
You get VIP access, apparently.
To what?
You get to see the movie Star Wars Path of the Jedi, which anybody who's in the park can see.
Okay.
You get to see 2 live-stage shows. So you get to see Star Wars: A Galaxy Far, Far Away and The March of the First Order, which obviously anybody that's in the park can go and see.
But do you get special VIP seating or a cordoned-off place?
Yeah, you get a reserved viewing area.
Okay, all right. Carry on.
Yeah. You can go and do the Jedi training.
You mean as an adult?
No, you've got to be between the ages of 4 and 12, which I think is bang out of order because I know plenty of adult men would give their left arm to go and do a bit of Jedi training.
Yeah.
So there's that. It doesn't say anything about any specialists that enrol them. You can go on Star Tours.
Okay.
Which anybody that goes into the park can do.
I don't go on it with C-3PO or R2-D2 or Wookiees or anything.
No, you just go on Star Tours. To be fair, obviously it's been a fair while since I've been there, Michelle, and you can maybe advise on this, but the last time we were in Hollywood Studios, and I know Hollywood Studios is a lot quieter now, there's less things to do, but we were finding we could get on and off Star Tours any time of the day as often as we wanted. It wasn't really that big a wait. Now, that may be wrong nowadays, I don't know, but you know.
I'd put it about 20 to 30 minutes, dependent on the time of day in Walt Disney World. Okay, go on. What else do you get?
So you get a meal.
Lunch. Oh, yummy.
Yeah, at Backlot Express.
That's the place that has the themed Star Wars munchies, though.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, they're not amazing. Well, they're all right, but, I'm not selling this, am I?
No.
Anyway.
I'm trying to be the positive one here, which is a real change of roles here, but carry on.
Then you're going to get to meet Chewbacca and Kylo Ren.
Oh, cool.
Character greeting, which, again, anybody can do. You're going to go around Star Wars launch bay, so you're going to see all the props, the models, concept art, etc., which, again, anybody can do that. You do get reserved viewing for Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular Nighttime Fireworks event.
Ooh.
And you get a personalised souvenir of your tour to take home with you.
Hang on a minute, you've missed something out.
What's that?
Well, when our friends Scott and Tracy from Disney Indiana podcast came on and they did a big review of this tour, they said the highlight for them, for the value, was that they went to the Star Wars dessert party in Hollywood Studios with everybody else. And when you think that's a price point of about $60, $70, that made this tour worthwhile for them. I think it was a bit more for them. I think it was about $120 odd. So are you meaning to say they've taken out the dessert party and just knocked off about $30?
If you read the blurb that's currently on Disney World website, all it says around the Galactic Spectacular is experiencing a reserved viewing of the Obi-Wan and only Star Wars: A Galactic Spectacular Nighttime Fireworks event. There's no mention that I can see of the dessert party, which was going to be my thing. Was I can't see the point of paying $92 plus VAT plus park entry for that. If you're going to be in the parks anyway, why not pay $70 for the dessert party? That includes tax and gratuity. You get your alcoholic drinks, you get your desserts, and you get your reserved priority seating.
Because everything else you can do, yeah.
Everything else you can do in the parks, you can do at your own pace, and then you can finish the night off by paying for that little extra special treat. You could actually go in with your dad. I'm thinking, we're going to go and do all the Star Wars things that you want to do, Dad. We're going to look at all the props that you want to look at and drool over all the artwork or whatever, because I know exactly what my husband would be doing. He'd be like, I'd be having to drag him away because he'd be like engrossed in all the props and things. We can go on Star Tours as many times as you like and then surprise him at the end of the day with this. And to wrap it all off, Dad, we've got you this. I think that would be a really cool way to do it, rather than paying for a quote-unquote VIP tour, which is probably only going to mean that you get to push your way in and you get to go on Star Tours once and you get, whereas actually if you're doing it yourself, you can choose the bits that you enjoy the most to go ahead and do.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, the value's all gone from that. I think when it had the dessert party, that was good.
Yeah, if anybody's out there and has done it recently, they might like to let us know whether or not it's still in there or not. But at the moment, it doesn't read as though that is part of the parcel at the moment. if it was doing it now, I would say go and have your Star Wars Day in the studios. I think as a special treat for Father's Day, they should let the fathers have a go at the Jedi training, personally.
Yeah.
And I think they should allow cosplay as well. I think the dads should be allowed to go in cosplay, because I think that would be really cool. But I wouldn't do it in your Mandalorian kit because it'd be rather warm. But yeah, and then I was finish the day off with the dessert party and pay that. That's the extra that I would pay is for the dessert party.
Now, you see, the Yorkshire girl in me would say, for the dessert party, here's a cupcake, Dad, enjoy.
Yeah.
And save myself that ka-ching, because it's pricey. And having done the dessert party before, for me personally, I didn't feel there was the value. I think you need to really, really hammer home those alcoholic beverages to get the value on it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it? It depends what you're going to partake in. So if it's a treat and you know that the people going are going to partake, then it makes it worthwhile. But as you say, if all you're going to go for is a cupcake, then, you know, you can go to Backlot Express and get your cupcakes from there, can't you?
Okay, well, thank you for the Star Wars ideas.
What have you come up with?
Well, I sort of thought about other things that you can do with your dad. I don't know about you, Jayne, but my dad, the way to his heart is through his belly.
Funny that with men, isn't it?
Yeah, and I thought, well, what does my dad like? And my dad likes nothing better than a good old brekkie.
Oh, sounds like my sort of man. Go on.
Absolutely. My dad, bless him, love him to bits. He spent his life being brought up with bacon, egg and sausage for breakfast, which is a traditional English fry-up.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Unfortunately, bless him, he's got celiac disease and he's now got to the age in life where not following a celiac diet is paying its toll, and unfortunately is not very able to sort of move and stand up very well independent because he didn't follow his diet through.
Right.
His idea was, I hate gluten-free food. If I'll die tomorrow, I want to die happy.
Way to go, yeah.
So basically, if I was taking my dad to Disney, which I can imagine my dad's answer would be, no, take me somewhere else. But if I was taking him, I've got two places I'd like to choose from. And the first one would be Radlin Road Irish Pub over in Disney Springs.
Ah, yeah.
Now, they have some amazing food options, and I know you can't go wrong here. They do a full Irish breakfast with the lot. You know, you've got the black and white pudding, you've got bacon, and it's proper bacon. It's got mushrooms, it's got the lot. Absolutely brilliant. $21, ka-ching, dad happy, full belly, and if he wanted, he could have a pint of his favourite falling down liquid.
Ah, yeah. Nothing beats a pint at Brekkie.
Absolutely not. And if he wanted, if I wanted to go along and have something a little bit lighter, well, they do have smoked salmon potato cakes. Mm-hmm. They do have eggs Benedict, they have the pancakes, so they have a little bit of everything for everyone. And I think that'd be really nice because the food there is very hearty, it's not fussy.
Yeah.
That's for us Brits. Now, obviously, our audience base does tend to be American. So I'm thinking of our American dads here.
Right.
And I'm thinking I'm going to take them over to Art Smith's Homecoming Kitchen because they've just started a Sunday brunch.
Oh, okay.
Their menu is amazing. And the Americans that I know would think nothing better of having fried chicken and donuts for breakfast.
Yeah, that's a bizarre combination, isn't it?
It is. Totally can't get my head around it. But, Jayne, how about bacon and pecan donuts?
Okay.
And they're like $6.
All right, okay, yeah.
You can have biscuits and jam, which are 2-drop biscuits, which we'd call scones.
Right.
Served with fig jam and hot honey butter.
Okay.
I'm liking that. You can also just get things like Country Benedict. You can get fried green eggs and ham. You can get a sunrise burger. This menu is absolutely killing it. And if you want something small, on the kids' menu, they have French toast.
Oh, I love a bit of French toast.
Can't go wrong with a bit of French toast.
No.
Whether you're an English breakfast person or an American breakfast person, I think getting yourself to Disney Springs, giving your dad a slap-up lunch is the way forward. And also, I know we've spoken before on the show, and in a couple of weeks' time we'll be talking again about the Brunch at California Grill. That is an amazing once-in-a-lifetime experience, but it's $80-ish per person. Ooh. Well, the whole family can eat in those places for that price.
Yeah, but as we've said before, Michelle, there's options to meet everybody's price point, isn't there? So if you pick and choose, you can get good quality stuff for the money that you can afford to spend.
Yeah. Now, I also thought of other places that you might want to take Dad. And I thought, to me, go and do this with Dad. Have something family style. So I'm thinking of food like Ohana. Difficult ADR to get at last minute, but how about over at Garden Grill? Because the food's served family style, and you get characters thrown in. So that's a nice option. Mm-hmm. I do appreciate that not everybody is into the whole food, life, breakfast, whatever. So maybe doing something fun together with your dad. Splitsville, around $15 per person in the daytime hours. You can go and do a bit of bowling.
That's true, yeah.
Us from the UK, dependent on the tickets you get, normally gets free mini golf. Well, Disney have 2 really fun mini golf courses.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's $14 for adults, $12 for children.
That's a good one, though. I know my dad would go for that.
Yeah, nice fun day out. And then, as Jayne said before, you can pop into the Swan and Dolphin and get an ice cream from their little quick serve place.
Yeah.
If you wanted to be in the theme park, then obviously there's only one choice. It's got to be Magic Kingdom. And our friend Becky has been on the show before and talked about the Family Magic Tour, and it's kind of a bit of a park scavenger tour, and it's great fun for families to go and do. It's $39.
Not too expensive.
So that's something to do as a family, but maybe you want to do something just for Dad.
Maybe, yeah.
Send him on the Secret of Our Steam Trains tour for $54.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're a single child and you want to do something with your dad, that's fun. How about a cake decorating day for 2 at Amorette's? $149 gets you the cake and the experience of doing something fun with your dad.
Yeah, I'm not sure I can see my dad cake decorating. No offence, Dad.
I know, but maybe if you're like 10 or 11, because you've got to be over 10 to do this, the 2 of you could do something fun. And I think that's a really nice special memory that'll linger around for a while. But I've also come up with some free options.
Oh, okay. Go on then.
So if Dad's a foodie, why not take him over to Boma at the Animal Kingdom Lodge and do the freebie tour of their restaurant, and you get free samples.
Yeah.
That's fun, and that happens every day around about 4:15.
Cool.
But to be honest, your dad's in the happiest place on earth, so maybe it might just be a simple pleasure as a citrus swirl and then a ride on the People Mover.
Well, you know what, Michelle? It's, as you say, it's the happiest place on earth. He's with his children, whatever. Surely that should be enough.
100% agree. Anyway, let's finish off this little feature with a yo-ho-ho, and that's a clue to where we'll go.
Where dreams begin.
I now have with me the wonderful, cruising, Diz Geek, Thomas Allison. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing really well. How's things in the land of Disney?
It's warm. Summer has arrived. Yes, we've had some really beautiful weather here. A little bit of a cool breeze, from the ocean. I live in Santa Monica. Get a little breezy air, take care of the heat. But the AC is working well in my home. It's nice. It's really nice as summertime start here in California.
Well, you see, us Brits, our version of air conditioning is called a window, and we open it.
Oh, really? Interesting, yeah.
It's a little bit more primitive.
Yeah, we have windows too, but we never open them. It's just,
Oh, you see, I'm a Mac girl, so I don't have windows. Ba-dum-bum.
Oh.
Had to be done.
Good one. You got me.
Yeah.
I didn't see that one coming.
Well, I gather, my lovely, you have recently been in Disneyland and you got to try out the wonderful new refurb of the Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm really anxious for you to tell all of our listeners everything about it.
It's good to have something new come and refreshed. An old classic attraction. Did it need to be refreshed? Did it need to have this change? I disagree with it, but I'll leave that but at the end. I think the whole idea behind the refurbishment and the end result came off looking very good. The pirate ride looks so much better right now than it has in the last, I would say, 3 years or 4 years. There's been problems with waterfalls not working, lights not working, lighting not adjusted right, effects not working right, and I go a lot, so I know when something's broken. It's kind of weird. It's like in your own house, what light switch doesn't work or what electrical plug outlet doesn't work, you know? If somebody comes in, you know, a friend or a neighbor that doesn't come into your house a lot, doesn't know they don't know what's working or not working in your house. Well, when you live in that house or where you go to a certain place all the time, you notice certain things when they're not working right?
Absolutely, 100%.
And either this is good or bad, or, you know, I'm very obsessive or whatever it is. You notice these types of things and, you know, they kind of grate on you because, you usually have a perception that Disney has a certain quality, a certain standard. Why is this like this, you know? I was glad that they were closing down the Pirates of the Caribbean to do some work on the ride because it definitely needed some work done.
So what did they actually do to the attraction to refresh it, starting from getting onto the attraction? Because I gather they've added it to Max Pass.
They have a Fast Pass system, but they have not turned it on yet. Mm-hmm. They add times, actually, some clocks on the ride. At the entrance of the ride, there's some clocks and what time to return back and everything like that. That's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. Something new. On the inside, in the entrance hasn't changed. Everything looks good. Is working. The map is working. When you get into the boat and you take off into the Blue Bayou, everything looks great. The scene before you go down the waterfall, it's a little bit darker now, which is kind of nice. I like the darkness. Get your eyes prepared. When you go down the drops, nothing's changed on those. The first scene, nothing's changed. The skeleton at the helm, nothing's changed there. Nothing's changed at the bar scene, except that the lighting's much better. You can see the painting much better. It's a little more pronounced. Bedroom scene is the same. Nothing looks different there. I didn't catch anything. The treasure room scene hasn't changed. Now something has changed in the tunnel scene. Ooh. When you go through the tunnel. You remember they had the mist screen near the end. You could see it as you entered into the tunnel. Well, the mist screen effect is all gone. And now they're playing the original audio track with Paul Frees and I forget who else. I think it's Existential.
Oh, wow.
Their narration inside there. So the dead man tell no tales, and then there's this little conversation that goes back and forth. And as you get closer to the end of the tunnel, over on your left-hand side, there is a new scene, brand new scene, where there's a pirate trapped in some kind of a cage of some sort with a treasure chest below it. As you pass by, he appears to change from a skeleton into a human face.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, exactly. And below it is a octopus, an animatronic octopus with treasure in its hands. So there's kind of a little bit of a humorous scene there going on. It's interesting. And then all of a sudden you're going into obviously the pirate ship scene, the battle scene going on.
Yeah.
Nothing has changed there. Lighting's much better there, I believe. Mm-hmm. The dunking scene, nothing's changed there. And then the big scene where the big change is where the auction, as previously it was the bride auction scene, and now it's the redhead who was formerly a bride being auctioned off what she wasn't being auctioned. I'll tell you more about that a little bit later. She's now portrayed as outwardly as a pirate. They are now auctioning off stolen items from the village. The oversized lady, she's now turned into a person that's selling off chickens, and the auctioneer is auctioning off the hens. Yeah, 10 for a hen. The pirates want rum, and I guess it's turned into political correctness right there. It's fine, I guess, if that's what you want. If that's what they want to do, that's fine. Doesn't take away from my memories what happened in the past, what was there in the past. There's plenty of videos of that scene, and so I guess they can change it whatever they want to change it, for whatever reason they want to change it. I'm okay with it. It's not the original intent of the ride.
It's done.
It's done. Exactly. It's done. There's nothing I can do to change it.
Yeah. So
I don't know why people are taking such a dramatic position about it, because there's nothing they can say or do that will change Disney.
But Tommy, if they're so enraged about it, it's easy. Don't go and ride it. Let those people who want to enjoy it go and do so.
Exactly. This ride has changed many, many times. They've added Jack Sparrow to the ride. They've changed the chase scenes from pirates chasing women to women chasing pirates, and adding food in their hands. This has happened. This ride has had more changes to it than any ride I can think of. Well, except maybe Space Mountain changing to Hyperspace Mountain. Lots of changes to that particular ride. Overall, the rest of the ride didn't change after that. But there's nothing you can do, nothing you can say. If it really offends you, don't ride. More for me, I guess. I love the ride. I still love the ride. It's fine.
I gather they've introduced a meet and greet for Red.
Yes, I didn't see Red around the area. I did see Jack Sparrow, actually, yesterday, which is kind of unusual. I haven't seen him for a couple of years. But, yeah, they do have a character named after the redhead in the scene. She's known as Red, R-E-D-D. I don't know why the double D.
Yeah, well, you can't help those little boys at Imagineering having to get a bit of a little dig in at a woman's curves.
Yeah, I guess so.
I gather we can work out our own pirate names as well.
Yes, absolutely. They did pass out yesterday and the last couple of days this little card. You get to on one side there's a picture of the of Pirate Red, and the other side is a little form where you, what is it? Do you have it in front of you?
I do. So, what's your eye colour, Tommy?
My eye colour is brown.
Okay, so if your eyes are brown, you're jolly.
Jolly.
What month were you born in?
September.
So you're Jolly Dreadful.
Dreadful.
The last initial of your first name, so that's going to be an S for you. So that's going to be Jolly Dreadful Sparrow.
Oh, last initial of my first name. Oh, interesting. I thought it was the last initial of my last name. It's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So Jolly Dreadful Sparrow. Yes. Yeah. Okay.
I'm O'Greedy Scallywag Fishmonger.
Fishmonger, huh?
I know.
Yeah, that sounds pretty ornery.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you have these little cards, and they're kind of nice. They're a little oversized, bigger than a playing card. But it was nice to have some kind of memento.
True.
To take away, and they actually dated it June 8th, 2018, which is kind of weird because she was already in the attraction. But what? I don't know. Anyway. I guess to re-announce, to reaffirm, to reintroduce, right? There you go.
Yeah. So, Tommy, to coincide with the wonderful reopening of Pirates of the Caribbean, they've only gone and changed the menu at Blue Bayou.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You beat me
yeah.
to wow. You know something I didn't know. What'd they do? What'd they change? Tell me.
Well, this is thanks to the wonderful people over at the Disney Food blog. Not because I had a secret weekend trip to Disneyland.
Okay.
they have Red's strawberry cake.
Oh, really?
A sponge cake covered in strawberry compote syrup with a candied strawberry plonked on top, coconut chantilly cream, and then at the base of the cake there's sautéed pineapple in like a brown sugar and vanilla bean sort of syrup, I suppose you could say.
Mm-hmm.
It looks amazing. It's going to be on the show notes. You've got to pop over and have a look.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
Being me who I am, obviously I start with the desserts and go backward. You know, with you mentioning about the octopus in the attraction, will they have octopus on the menu in the Blue Bayou?
Oh, really? A calamari?
It's a cursed pirate fried octopus and calamari.
Oh, interesting.
So it's nice that they've introduced that to go into,
Yeah.
you know, because if you're in, the whole reason of going into Blue Bayou really is because it's a restaurant within an attraction.
Yes.
So it's nice that the food fits really well with that.
Yes. You know, we love going to the Blue Bayou. It's a fun place to go. We usually go for lunch because I think it's a better value for that time. It's one of the best places to take friends that have never been to Disneyland or go to Disneyland rarely. It's a highly regarded place for just having a great meal and great atmosphere and great place to relax, cool down, and enjoy the magic that's there.
Absolutely. Agree with you 100%. Well, thank you for joining us and sharing everything about pirates, Tommy.
Thank you so much. You have a great evening.
If you want to hear more from Tommy, you can find him on the Diz Geek podcast, and he also does a cruising podcast as well called The Cruise Dudes with his brother-in-law Scott, and they also have a digital magazine, Seawind Mag. Just Google those names and you will find everything you need to know about Diz Geeks, Cruise Dudes, or Seawind Mag.
Bye.
So, Jayne, Pirates has been revamped,
Yes.
and I'm going to share with you your pirate name since we found out mine and Tommy's.
All right, go on then.
Okay, so what's your eye colour?
Blue.
So you're O'Grady.
Okay.
What month were you born?
December.
So you're Little Jib.
Right.
What's the last initial of your first name? Well, that's going to be E, and that's Fishmonger. So you are O'Grady Little Jib Fishmonger.
Doesn't quite roll off the tongue, does it?
No, but it's okay because my name ends with E, and it's Fishmonger, so we must be related.
Ah, we're distant cousins 3 times removed or something then, Michelle.
Obviously so. Obviously so. So anyway, after that fun and games with Tommy, let's hear from our good friend Mark Petar as he shares what's happening over in DLP. I just have to talk about DLP in a little bit more detail because there's been the whole announcement saying this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Is the park starting to change and move away from some of the things that we don't like into a more rounded, polished Disney theme park?
It's a tricky one because I think if you ask most, especially Brits, what they don't like the most, it's the smoking. They're putting up signs everywhere and there's announcements all the time, and yet they ignore it. And it's a tough one. I have been saying for years they need to take a much harder stance and be throwing people out or be finding people or doing something, because unfortunately the cast members can only do so much. And they'll tell someone you can't smoke in here and the person will just laugh at them. Or will put it out and be smoking again 2 seconds later as soon as they turn their back. The cast members are kind of stuck, which is a great shame. Yeah, something needs to be done because the announcements aren't doing anything, the signage isn't doing anything. And I think that is most people's main bugbear about the park. Personally, recently they have had nothing but great cast members, so their attitude is great, their demeanour is great. Is it Disneyland standards? Possibly not, but it's good for Disneyland Paris. And even Daniel Decor, when he was giving his speech a couple of weeks ago at the Inside Ears event, he said that, they've been really working on their customer service, but then he went to Disneyland and experienced theirs and realised how far they still had to go. And that's a fair point, but they're making an effort, and I've met loads and loads of really good cast members.
Okay, that's good.
Obviously, the studios is going to go over the next sort of 5 years. We're looking at major work being done to the studios. There's still rumours about things happening in the main park, but there have been rumours for 2 or 3 years, although apparently Saints now got planning permission, so that might start happening sooner rather than later. I'm not too sure that's public yet, so I'm not going to say it because I might get in trouble. It's an ever-evolving thing, Disneyland Paris. This event was bigger than anything it's done before on a private party event sort of way, that's for sure. So that's a good step. The studios can only get better from here on out, although it has got better gradually over the last 10 years anyway, but it can only continue to get better and better. The park itself, the Disneyland Park, is in pretty good nick, especially after they redid some stuff in the last couple of years for the 25th. I often say to people 2 things. One, Disneyland Paris, the worst thing about it is the people that are there, not the place itself. It's the fans and the visitors. But it's one of those places that you can't go blind. But I think that's the same as Disney World now as well. Disneyland, I think you can wing it. But Disney World and Disneyland Paris, you need to put a bit of thought in. You need to do a bit of research, is my way of putting it. Just for Disneyland Paris, you've got to know what to hit and know what to avoid. And I think once you know what to avoid in Disneyland Paris, you have a much better time.
No, those are very good points. And I think especially with Disneyland Paris now, some of the restaurants are getting quite popular. You can't just turn up and expect to be able to be seated and have a table. You actually do have to book in advance now.
Oh, definitely. It's about 2 months. Most places you haven't got to book 2 months in advance. I very rarely try and get something last minute at Disneyland Paris.
Particularly the themed brunches at the Disneyland Hotel in Innovations, I imagine.
Oh, the Sunday ones, they sell out normally in advance, yeah.
Okay.
Not always. It's one of those things. It depends on the theme, but they don't announce the themes anymore. So it's a bit funny because the themes do leak. Some people know them, some people, but they can then change. So you then get people that complain that they wanted a different theme, and it's a bit of a mess, to be honest. Hopefully it won't be such a mess that they change it, because I love the brunch and love doing that. I think they're fine tuning the brunch to try and appease more people and not cause so many issues.
Yeah.
But it's a fun time. It's expensive, but it's a fun time.
Absolutely. I've been there a couple of times with you and had nothing but good things to say about it.
Well, we had that exactly. We went for a Snow White brunch and it ended up being pirates.
Yeah, but it was brilliant.
And people complained because it had been advertised as Snow White, and it all went pear-shaped from there. So that's one of the reasons they stopped announcing the themes, so that no one could then complain they came for a different theme.
While we're talking on sort of general park things, I saw on Twitter the other day that they've released some Marvel-themed food. So are you seeing in the park that they are starting to up the game with the sort of like snack element of the food?
Well, this is all for the Marvel Summer of Heroes. It's all part of it. So for the 25th, we had the 25th Cupcake, which wasn't a huge range, but they've really gone over the top with the Marvel stuff. I think they've actually added food as a major element, and they mentioned this actually during the Inside Ears event. They said that we've been working with our counter service people a lot lately, and the food will be a big element of Marvel. And then they announced it. Now, actually, we got to try some of it there. The Groot biscuits are very nice. 2
different ones by what I've seen. There's like a raspberry jam one, and then a chocolate Nutella one.
Yeah, I got to have the raspberry one, and it was pretty much like a big jammy Dodger.
Oh, sold to the lady in the aristocrat pajamas. I may have
eaten a couple of those. The Groot biscuits were good. I didn't have the Groot Hot Pocket, which was like I think it was like a beef and bacon and cheese pasty. Because it had cheese in it.
Yeah, true. You're funny with your cheese.
Yeah, me and my cheese. And I'm not a fan of macaron, which you can also get with the Avengers logos on it. I haven't actually seen that they served a shawarma at the event. I don't know if shawarma's on the menu too, because that's obviously an Avengers thing. But I've seen they've got an Iron Man cup, and they've got a Infinity Gauntlet sipper like the ones in America.
Yeah, there's a baby Groot one as well, which is so cute.
I mean, it's all just money making, let's face it, and that's what DLP needs the most. It's cheap, easy ways to make money. And if selling themed cups and stuff is the way to go, then fine.
Yeah, because these cupcakes that they're doing. There's like a Captain America sort of red, white and blue swirl with stars on and a chocolate cupcake. And then there's a pistachio one with green and burgundy one, which is a superhero one. And both of those are €4.30. So it's a reasonable price point for a snack. And it's nice to see the theme in. And it would be nice if they sort of rolled this out a little bit more so that we had the Mickey and Minnie type snacks rather than just Marvel.
Yeah. Star Wars, I think, started this. Well, I mean, there was a Frozen cupcake a couple of years ago when they were doing Frozen Winter and stuff showings over at the Chaparral. There was a Frozen cupcake there.
Yeah, shame they had to let it go.
Okay, God. For the 25th, there's been a 25th cup. I'm ignoring that one. For the Star Wars events, there was the Yoda cupcake. They like a cupcake lately. They do. They love a cupcake because I think obviously it's just what icing they put on top. They can call it whatever they want. But then we've had the Jedi burger. It's just one of those things that's been growing and growing. There was hints of themed food. And I think it's just been ramped up over the last sort of 12 months. And now Marvel's definitely the biggest array of food to go with a theme that I think we've ever had there.
Yeah.
But it's all cool.
It is. And I think the food, for me personally, is a big factor of my holidays. So it is nice to know that I've had a nice meal and I can get a nice Disney snack because we all know if it's shaped like Mickey, it's got no calories in.
One of the things I'd say is, keep an eye out on the news for, I think it's like 2 or 3 days from now, depending or in the past, depending on how quickly you put this out. When the Marvel show starts in studios, no one's seen it yet to comment, but the rumblings and the rumours say that it's amazing.
All crossed. Absolutely all crossed.
We now think that's probably going to be a permanent thing because obviously that area is the start of the new Marvel land. So we don't think it's temporary. We think that's going to be, although there's the summer of superheroes with the parade and the night show and everything, that's all obviously going to go at the end of summer. But we think this stage show is going to stay. We don't know for sure because obviously it's DLP and we get told very little. But yeah, I think that's going to stay, and the rumblings are that it's going to be pretty epic.
Well, thank you so much for sparing some of your time, and
thank you.
I look forward to talking some more Disney with you very soon.
Thank you for having me.
So that's all fun and games on this week's show, Jane. We've been around 3 different Disney theme parks. Aren't you exhausted?
I'm going to say I feel a bit worn out, Michelle.
It's been a heck of a trek. I hope you've enjoyed this week's show. We've tried to bring you a little bit of everything from a little bit of everywhere, and we will be back with you real soon. In the meantime, don't forget to pop on over iTunes and refresh your iTunes review or leave us a new one. Either option, it'll make us smile. You can also get extra audio content from us for a small donation to the show, and that's by going to patreon.com/DisneyDreamGirls.com. You may wish to email us, info@DisneyDreamGirls.com, or join in the fun over on our Facebook page, searching for Disney Dream Girls. But Jayne, until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.